Did you get worried when they drew level, or did you know that you had another gear that you could find?
I was confident that we'd have another gear because we've shown that all season. I think this has been an issue for us a lot of the season. We tend to start games really well, and then we tend to lose concentration around that middle part of a game, and we fail to either build off the back of the good work we've done, and we seem to invite teams back into the affair. And sometimes we've come unstuck because we haven't been able to kick on again because we've given the opposition too much momentum and ascendancy in the game. But more often than not, we finish strong in most games. I think that's been like I said, the current theme for most games this year is we start well, have a poor middle of the game, and then we finish strong. And but like I say, against your better teams, that's no disrespect to Whitehaven, you just can't get away with it. And we need to be better. Certainly, if we're going to be a top 4 side. And I've spoken to the boys there. I thought the first half we were pretty good. I thought we controlled the first half really well. We had a spell there for 7 or 8 minutes where we clocked off, and we allowed Whitehaven back into the game. But I thought our halfbacks and our decision makers controlled that first half reasonably well. We executed the plan well, and thought we asked a lot of questions of the Whitehaven defence. I still felt defensively we could have been a bit better, but overall I was pretty pleased at half time, and I thought we deserved our lead going into half time. The challenge for the players was to pick it up at the start of the second half and go that second gear from the word go, and try and build off the back of that first half performance. But unfortunately, we come up with an error on our first set with the ball, which again gave up field position, and then we give away some ill-disciplined penalties without the ball, which again invited Whitehaven the field position and possession, and for them they capitalised on that and got themselves back into the game and got level. And like I said, I was a little bit worried, of course, because I could see the momentum changing within the game, and Whitehaven were getting that ascendancy, off the back of our wrongdoing, to be honest, and ill-discipline and whatnot. So, but I always knew in the back of my mind, I know we've got another gear because we generally finish games relatively strong. So, and again, we managed to do that today, but you're not always going to get away with it by doing that.
Losing Reece Lockwood very early was obviously a big blow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And I've got to give a massive rap to young Matt Davis because, obviously he's been out of the first team fold for a few weeks now. He's gone back to the academy. Still training with the first team though, obviously. And, and he came in today and, like I said, had to play probably more minutes than was expected. And I thought he did a really, really good job. I thought he was a constant thorn in the Whitehaven defence in terms of he was running with purpose. I thought defensively, he got himself stuck in and wrestled well and worked hard from the inside. Did all the little things really well. I was very, very impressed with him today.
You started with Ray and James came off the bench.
Yep.
Does that mean the boots have been hung up again?
Well, at this stage, I mean that's
goes down with an injury.
Well, that's the plan. Obviously I've made it pretty clear in recent press conferences that it's not ideal, being a player coach for various reasons. I don't need to explain again, but but obviously needs must at the time. And like I said, bringing James in this week has obviously allowed me to be able to step back away and go back up into the stands, which is great. And I thought both Ray and James did a reasonable job today. So like I said, as long as they're performing well and delivering the standards that I expect as a coach, then they'll be playing and I won't be. But like I said, if we do get an injury there or the performance levels drop, then I may have to revisit that. But hopefully I won't have to.
Is James likely to be the starter next week?
I'm not too sure. I can't comment on that at this stage, mate. I'll have to review the video back. But to be fair, I was pretty happy with Ray's contribution. I thought he controlled things at the start.
I thought he probably had his best game.
Yeah, and then when he came back on, he got us back onto the script. So, I don't want to give anything away for next week. I don't know, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's I was pretty happy with the pair of them. On Cunningham, the one that was put on Cunningham. Yeah, it's hard.
It looked to be an accidental.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was deliberate. I think I think James picked up a loose ball, didn't he? And they were scrambling, and 3 or 4 blokes got in, and it's hard to see till you see it on the video. It's hard to sort of make a comment on was it deliberate, was it whatever. Yeah, it didn't look pretty, and hence why it's gone on report, and it's obviously up for the panel to review. And if they deem that there was some malice or intent in that, then the person will be punished accordingly. But I mean, it's obviously never nice to see players get hurt like that, but. James is a tough kid. He got on with it and managed to play on, which was good. But obviously we'll assess him and make sure all's okay. Moving into next week. But you're right. And I thought you mentioned there about the experience of the pack coming home, and I thought I thought they did reasonably well at the back. I thought Jason Walton had a big game for us on debut. Got to give him a mention. I think he's come in this week, and I thought he really added some punch on the edge there, and got across for a couple of tries as well. And he looked like he belonged there. He fitted in really, really well. So really impressed for him to get the 80 minutes out. And again, like you said, I thought the middle guys. brought it home for us. I thought Johnny Walker and Glenn Riley both did their job coming off the bench, and I thought Thax and Johnny Wallace did a reasonable job at the start, and obviously when they came back on the second half. So overall, I was pretty pleased with our middles today.
Will you be looking to add anyone else to the squad?
Well, I've got the capacity to. I do have probably the funds for maybe one more player, but again, I'm not going to just bring anybody in. It's got to be someone I believe is going to add value and improve the squad. So, if the right
for a hooker was somewhat different.
Yes, absolutely. That was a priority area, and we managed to do that. But in terms of bringing another player in, we haven't got long now till the deadline. I think it's the 24th of July. So, but again, I'm not going to rush in to the market. If an agent comes to me or a player comes to me that's available and I think they're the right quality and the right fit for this team, they're going to improve the squad moving towards the back end of the season, I won't hesitate in bringing them in. Yeah.
What's the news on Richie Mathers? Is he going to be back before the end of the season?
Not too sure, mate. He's still being led by the physios. He's not back on field training yet, so he's had a few setbacks obviously with that injury. So at this stage he's still in the hands of the physio. So I can't comment whether he's going to be back or not, mate, to be fair.
And Dan Harrison has torn his knee ligament.
Yeah. So he's more or less, that we're hoping we might get him back for 1 or 2 games, but it's looking likely that he'll miss the season. Maybe the £1 million game he could be back, but he's pretty much out for the season. Yeah. Oh yeah, the pressure's always been on, and I think. I guess you're probably right. I mean, of course, it puts pressure on because when you're playing pressure footy, you got to win every game, and that's where the team's got to be a bit smarter in that situation. There's a way of playing pressure football, and we've still got to learn how to play pressure football. But I guess the pressure's always been on from the start because we're a full-time team in this division. There was an expectancy that we would finish top 4 comfortably, and we've been poor, for various reasons, and we've had a bit of, I think, disruption is probably the right word at the start of the season, and things didn't quite go to plan in pre-season and things like that. So and that's not to have any excuses. It's just that we probably didn't quite get it right, and it's credit to the players that have remained focused and vigilant, and a couple of the guys that we have managed to bring in have really added something to us, and we've really come together in these last 6 weeks and started to. I've had to make some small changes within the culture, within the place, and within the team and the mentality, and slowly but surely we're starting to see bits of that translating onto the field, which is really positive. And I always had in the back of my mind, I just hope it's not too little too late. And but I think it's certainly been exciting this second half of the season because I think the fans and I think even David and the football operations staff and even the performance staff, they can see that something is building here, something exciting is building, and we may not achieve what we set out to achieve at the start of the season this year, but we're certainly moving in the right direction. We're certainly going to be better equipped for the championship next year. We're certainly going to have a stronger squad than we had this year, and we're certainly going to be a better, I think, more confident and a team that's going to understand each other a lot better. Next season as well. So I think it's pretty exciting times. But again, we've still got a job to do this year, and that's to win the next 3 games, and hopefully, fingers crossed, some results going our way, and we do scrape into the 4. But if it's not, then we've just got to prepare for that bottom 8 and try and win the Championship Shield.
Can you start thinking about that yet? Are you looking at Salford games or Whitehaven games?
No, not yet. No, I can't. We're just taking it week by week. At the end of the day, and I've banged it onto the players that we can't control the uncontrollables. All we can control is what we do on the field. You know what I mean? And obviously we let ourselves down massively last week at Halifax, and we might come to haunt us at the back end there. But again, really the damage was done early in the season, and if we don't make the top 4, then we don't deserve to be there, and we probably haven't been good enough over the course of the season. If we do make the top 4, then fantastic. We deserve to be there because we're in there. You know what I mean? Simple as that. And then it's up to us then to equip ourselves well and give a good crack at it in the as David puts it, the washing machine. And who knows? But if not, then we have to address the bottom 8 and make sure we perform well in that and try and get something out of that to lay some foundations to build upon for next season. There's still, absolutely. Again, like I said...
All you needed was Fax to lose and it would have been the perfect day.
Yeah, well, either Sheffield or Fax had to lose, didn't they? So, like I said, we can't control what's going on around us. We are relying on results. That's reality, and I said that to the players beforehand. We are relying on results. But what we can control is winning these next 4 games, and if we do, we might have a chance, depending on how results go. And if we don't, well, hey, like I said before, we haven't been good enough over the course of the season to. Well, it is what it is, mate. You can't whinge about it. we've faced some adversity there as a group, and there's been a little bit, like I said, a little bit of disruption, a bit of turmoil there at the start of the year, and it doesn't help, like I said, with people going down. But hey, that's footy and that's life, and we just got to be stronger as a group. And like I said, either way, this year will be a huge learning curve, certainly for the nucleus of the squad that will remain with us, and it will be something we can certainly take forward in the next season and build off the back of.